Hi everybody, how are we all doing? I hope you're having a good weekend so far. Today is Saturday the 28th of September 2013. I can't believe it's almost the end of September. It'll be October this time next week, can you believe it already? I know you guys in America are preparing for Halloween because you guys love Halloween over there, don't you? So from now until end of October, well, I think a lot of people have already started about a week or two, earlier. So shopping and preparing for Halloween, which is good. It's awesome. So yeah, anyway, so Marvel's Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. Premiered on Tuesday on ABC in the States, and it premiered here in the UK last night on Channel 4. I have to admit, I actually thoroughly enjoyed it. I know that there are a number of people, nerds will be nerds, who just didn't like how the pilot started and the characters that were involved. Now, let's be honest here. I'm just going to say it straight out. I mean, what were you guys actually expecting? Were you expecting the likes of Thor, Captain America, Iron Man, and Hulk to be shown in the pilots? They mentioned them. They talked about what happened after in New York and everything. A group known as Rising Tide have been hacking into the S.H.I.E.L.D. database, getting footage of other people who are suddenly becoming superheroes, just ordinary everyday life people becoming superheroes, and leaking it onto the internet before S.H.I.E.L.D. finds out, all that sort of stuff. But we actually find out that Rising Tide isn't actually a group of people, it's just one person, female by the name of Sky. Eventually S.H.I.E.L.D. track her down because there's this individual who, by the name of Michael Peterson, who everybody, this was quite funny, right? All the hardcore Marvel fans initially thought it was Luke Cage, and that just got slammed down straight away. Joss Whedon and everybody else involved basically said, no, it's not Luke Cage, people. Hold on to your hats. It's not Luke Cage, okay? It's amazing how we comic book fans, when we see what we perceive to be a popular character, it turns out that it's not that person that we think it was. I remember when the Avengers trailer came out, and even though we didn't know it was actually the Chitauri, everybody was saying, "Oh, are those the Skrulls? Is that who you're into? Bringing into Avengers into the Marvel universe?" And Joss basically just turned around and kept telling everybody, "It is not. They're not the Skrulls. Stop it," kind of thing. And then in the end, when the film came out, it turned out it was the Chitauri. So those are the things of where we jump to these conclusions without knowing what's really going to happen. We're very good at prejudging, but when it gets revealed that we were wrong about our conceptions, we basically sit there and just eat humble pie, don't we? We some of us never like to admit that we were wrong. It's okay to admit that you were wrong, guys. Don't feel bad about it. Honestly, there are a number of times I've been wrong about a number of things, and I've held my hand up to say, yep, I was wrong. I do apologise, and this, that, and the other. And there have been occasions where I've been so smug about it, I'm just like, you know what, whatever. But as time goes on, you eventually realise that the more people complain about something that's not there or that is there, the more you realise that at the end of the day, you can't please every single comic book nerd out there, ever. It's that simple. So anyway, back onto the show. So Agent Coulson is back. We sort of get information as to how he was revived. That he didn't actually die. As such, he was only dead long enough for the Avengers to, take revenge against Loki. But turns out that there was there's a bit more in-depth information on that, because he mentions being in Tahiti for some time, and it seems that Agent Maria Hill, Kobe Smulders is guest starring in this as well. She's present. Knows that he was in Tahiti and something happened to him. What happened to him, we don't know, because the doctor who's doing medical for the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents who Coulson has brought together, and I'll get to them in a moment. They both have a discussion saying that Tahiti, he really doesn't know. To which Maria Hill turns around and says, well, he will never know. He must never know what happened. So it begs the question: what really happened to Agent Coulson? did he actually die? And if he did, what happened? And a friend of mine I was speaking to on Twitter yesterday has a theory that's maybe he had been cloned. It's possible because it is the comic book world, or something else happened to him. We don't know. So I'm sure it'll be revealed as time goes on, as the series goes on. We'll eventually get information as to what really happened to Coulson. So anyway, the other agents, we've got two British uber nerds by the name of Fitz and Simmons. Okay, even though when you say the names together, Fitzsimmons, you actually think that it is one person. So when they recruited this guy by the name of Ward, who is such a huge hothead, he's a cocky, arrogant twerp. I love him. He's amazing. He's already in my good books. He is enlisted. Coulson gives him the briefing and everything. Well, actually, he's enlisted by Maria Hill to begin with. She's given him some debriefing and stuff. That's when Coulson enters the room. And I tell you what, this show really does have Joss Whedon written all over it. The entrance by Coulson was just awesome. It just walks in saying, "How about security clearance level 7?" I'm sorry, I just had to do that coming around from the corner kind of thing because it was too dark. The light bulb went out, and it was like, that's typical Joss. You can tell that's typical Joss because he has that panache where it's serious, but then there's always a quirky moment in there, and that's what we love about Joss. And it's great that he has his elements. It's there. You know it straight away. If you're a big time Joss Whedon fan, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So yes, so the other characters, as I say, there's Ward, there's Fitz, there's Simmons, and high-profile agents by the name of is it Melinda May, I believe. She's quite well known in S.H.I.E.L.D., especially to the point of where even Ward was starstruck when he found out that she was piloting the plane at one point. So they go after this Michael Peterson because an explosion. He saved an individual in an explosion, but there's more to this explosion than we were perceived to believe. Turns out that the woman he saved, he actually knows who she is, and this is what I love about the show so far already, is that all the elements of everything to do with all the other Marvel films, Iron Man, Hulk, Avengers, yeah, obviously Thor and Captain America, it's all mixed together, gelled pretty well in some sense in the pilot in particular, because what happened to Michael Peterson is they developed some sort of harness that is on his arm that gives him his super strength, but at the same time they gave him Extremis, which is from Iron Man 3. So it's like they've got Chitauri technology mixed with Extremis, and I think they've also added the super soldier serum that Captain America uses, and possibly at some point something to do with I would imagine if some way they've harnessed Thor's power. I don't know how. Maybe, who knows? There's even gamma radiation involved, so there's Hulk straight away for you. So all of that is put together. It's pretty well done. I can see why, as I say at the beginning, I can see why some people weren't happy about how the show was done, how the pilot has already been introduced. Yes, it was cheesy, but you've got to have that cheesy element. There's got to be cheesy element. You're forgetting this is a TV show. We're not looking at the bigger screen now. This is the other side of the spectrum of the Avengers, S.H.I.E.L.D. universe. Okay, Coulson, I'm sure, will appear in the movies at some point. Same with Maria Hill. But don't expect to see the likes of Ward, May, Fitz, and Simmons to appear in the film. And if they do, who knows? They might just do like a little 5-second cameo or something. And who knows if the likes of Romanov might appear? I mean, she's mentioned in the film in the pilot as well. So I think that altogether it was pretty good. Some people are disappointed. The really hardcore Marvel fans amongst you guys will not be happy about it. But I loved it, and I'll continue to watch it. If you guys want me to continue reviewing the show as well, let me know. I just wanted to do this just to get a feel for it, kind of thing, just see if people will be interested. I won't continue if people think, yeah, don't waste your time about it. So if there's enough interest, then I'll continue doing more reviews after, you know, next week's episode as 084, I think is titled, because at the end of the episode, Lola, Coulson's car, it's old, but it's more of a collectible. And he does say that she does have a way of keeping up, and boy, does she have a way of keeping up. It was interesting to see that the car can fly. I thought that was pretty awesome. I really thought that was pretty awesome. I had a Back to the Future 2 moment right there. I was like, or really the end of Back to the Future 1, where we're going, we don't need roads. So yeah, that was just pure epicness right there. So yeah, as I say, let me know if you still want me to continue reviewing the show, and if so, I will do that from next week. Let me know what you guys thought of it. If you think that this, you know, going down the path of the TV side of things for Marvel is a really good idea. Can S.H.I.E.L.D., can Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. really hold its own? I mean, if we look at it another way, if you flipped it over, let's say they did the TV series before the movies, would that have been a better idea? You know, I think it's much better that they've done it this way, because if the movies are there, the impact has been made, the universe is out there. Now they can get these little areas tied up, certain loose ends that weren't mentioned in the film or weren't done in the film can now be tied up in the TV series in some sense, because you've got to factor those in, because we all talk about plot holes and things that were inconclusive or unexplained. Here in this sort of manner, you've got the films, you've got the TV show, they tie in together. Certain things that we see in the film that may not have been explained in the film can be explained in the TV series as well. So that's how I see it anyway. I don't know how everybody else would see it, but like I say, I did enjoy it, and we'll see how it goes on. Anyway, thank you all very much for watching. See you all very later.